What's going on? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is yet another weekly edition of our retro WWE reviews. This week, Rock Bottom, 1998. Each week, I'm Corey Smith, and my co-host, he's over there, Mr. Jose Oseguera. We go back in time 22 years to review Sunday Night Heat, and sometimes, occasionally, hey, there's a pay-per-view bump along the way. This week, like I said, it's Rock Bottom. So,
if you smell.
Yeah, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. The first and only, well, I guess not only rock-themed things, shows, because we'll get into it.
Comes up a little later on.
Yeah. Before we get into it, we're going to do a whole review of the show with Sunday Night Heat beforehand. If you like what you hear, please click the thumbs up bell or the thumbs up button below. Click the bell, notify, subscribe, because like I said, we do these shows every single week, and we need recognition. We need to know how good we are every single day. I feed on your praises. No, I mean, it would just be good because it makes our show better and lets more people know about it. Anyways, yes. Let's get right into it. Sunday Night Heat was this December 13th.
December 13th, live from Vancouver, BC, British Columbia, Canada.
Yes. A heel territory, according to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You know, so, I don't know what he's got. I mean, even before you get into it, sorry. Even before Bret Hart, I feel like Vince had some hatred towards Vancouver.
It's because they didn't follow protocol.
Oh, they were so crazy. They're like the day after WrestleMania where they cheer for the bad guys and boo the good guys.
Especially if those bad guys were Canadian.
Yeah.
They became faces. But today we have the set reveal of the Buried Alive match. So we get to see a very generic on-ramp or off-ramp.
Yeah.
When they come out. It's very generic
entranceway, yeah.
Yeah, and it just has a small little sign that says Rock Bottom, and we get this huge set for Buried Alive, so we get to see that. And first to appear on the show is the one and only Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And of course, he has a promo to cut, especially chasing after the hometown favorites.
Well, this is a year after. This is a year after the Montreal screw job, yeah. And given it's not in Montreal, but they still hate him in Canada.
Oh, and the heat is glaring. It's hot in the building. So pretty much he cuts a promo on Stone Cold where he says there's no chance in hell Stone Cold will ever be champion. But even though there's no chance in hell, he's still letting Austin fight.
I'm a nice guy.
Undertaker. And if he wins, he gets an opportunity for the Royal Rumble. And if he wins the Rumble, then he gets a shot at the title. But that's never going to happen because there's no chance in hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was like, well, I'm a good guy, so there's no chance. Because, I mean, I like his reasoning. Like, he's not saying there's no chance as in I'm not going to let it happen. He's just saying, Austin, I've stacked up the deck against you. Because in this universe right here, Vincent Kennedy McMahon he can't just go in the match and be like, this is over, you're the champion. There are rules to follow as chairman of the company, and he must follow them, which I kind of dig. I'll be honest.
Yeah. It's totally written in support of him. You know what I mean? It makes him that much stronger, which is cool. You know, you need that authority figure, especially now that we're exploring that a lot more deeply than previous years.
Yeah.
You remember we've always had an authority, and he'd always set up matches and be the bad guy every here and there. But this is serious, and he's gonna let you know. One thing else that he lets us in on is that this pay-per-view, of course, aptly named Rock Bottom, is a tribute to the corporate rock champion, and we get the reveal of the
two banners.
The two huge curtains
unraveling.
What would you call those? Yeah,
there are two banners unraveling. I mean,
the rock banners.
Yeah,
with his image and the corporate eyebrow being exposed.
I like this because it was very like nowadays you would see something like this on 2K, like when you're playing the 2K games, like just in a like you'd go in the community section and be like, oh, what'd somebody make? Oh, that's cool. You know, like, look at this. Oh, it's a, Kenny Omega theme show. Oh, it's this show. This was a Rock theme show. It wasn't like some big, they were just like, The Rock is the champion and he's going to get his own show. I think that he should have had a little bit more say in it. I feel like he should have been able to book the matches.
Sure. But being champion is enough, I think.
Yeah.
But you know what though, too, is how generic the set looked at the beginning with just a small sign.
Yeah.
You pull out those big ass banners, and suddenly it's cool.
It's still very simple. It's still very simple, but yeah,
it is. But simple did the job here.
It's just like I said, we're going to Canada. I don't want a whole setup there. I want to pay half the price.
Yeah.
Okay, Vince.
Yeah. So then we get this whole, spiel with Vince talking crap about the mixed identity of Canadians.
He wants them.
Are they English?
He wants them to renounce their citizenship and crawl to Washington, D.C. the next day. What?
Which is just a short hop, skip, and a jump away.
So
yeah, and deep down, all Canadians really want to be American citizens, right?
I think it's the other way around, actually.
Yeah,
at least the smart ones. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So after all of that, we get major heats and we get the introduction of Shane McMahon. Now, is this new music that Shane comes out to?
Okay, first off, it's Shane Watch because Shane's back on commentary. But yeah, no, Shane comes down to this music, which I thought was the theme from Escape from New York. You know what I mean? Because it was very late 80s, like rock and roll. Like dun, 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 dun. I was just like, oh, this is bad.
It's very similar to the Heat theme.
Yeah. Well, the Heat theme is like dun, 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 dun. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. No, it's a little different, but it's very generic. It's like song number 6 in the Jim Johnston, 100, generic song collections.
Yeah. But, heavy on the wah bar.
Yeah. Oh, but no, because remember his first song was Jacqueline's song, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's given to Jacqueline later.
Yeah, so we get our first match of the night, and it's Gil. I'm assuming he's defending the title against a very young and fresh-looking Matt Hardy.
Oh, my God. The young up-and-comer Matthew Hardy, light heavyweight championship. Wow.
Yeah, but before the match, we get a Deborah promo. Which I didn't even pay attention to. Some about her, I don't know.
No. So Shane's on commentary, and Shane, he gets the young viewers, right? So he has to go ahead and be like, "Hey, Deborah, are you feeling randy tonight? Get it?
This is
Austin Powers, huh?
This is when Austin Powers was a thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dropping little.
Yeah, definitely. I think I just saw it in theaters or with my mom, and we got yelled at because we were too loud, laughing so hard. But no, and then Deborah, she's just like, well, I don't know anyone named Randy, but I sure know that Jarrett's going to beat Golddust tonight. She's bad, but at the same time, she plays her character good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She kind of plays like this ditzy woman from the South, who just kind of followed maybe at least what I get is like the person who's like, this guy has money and fame, I'm going to hang out with him. Mm-hmm. Right? Like not a groupie, but like somebody who's
like she's
going to lock herself down.
Knows how.
Maybe a gold digger.
To maneuver.
A gold digger, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, a gold digger and knows how to, elevate the proper talents.
She knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no pun intended because they never... Nothing ever happened.
Not much to say about the match, but there was an awesome crucifix bomb.
Although, speaking of gold diggers, it's time to play the game.
Oh my God, let's not. Whoa. I was I don't know if it's the right time to say the story, but there was a picture of everybody that was wrestling at a certain point, because it was it was the Road Warriors and is this on the card here? I think it is. Anyway, so I was telling my wife, I was like, look, dead, richest guy here, dead.
Oh, that's The richest guy here part is funny. The other ones are just
Matt Hardy does
Matt Hardy, not dead or the richest guy there.
Bomb. Yeah, not dead or the richest guy. With a massive crucifix bomb on Gilbert and moonsault by Matt, who refuses to cover Gil for some odd reason.
They said, Matt Hardy, you got 2 minutes, or not even. You got like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Fucking squashed Gil for that, and then that's
Don't
gonna
cover
happen.
him.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt Hardy was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do the best shit I can," and I thought that was great.
Yeah, so we get a Blue Meanie run in, of course, with a nice enough looking DDT that knocks out Matt. And we get a 1, 2, 3 pin for Gil that remains the champion.
Oh, I'm sorry. The whole match was 1 minute and 2 seconds altogether.
Yeah, that's about the 3 moves that it took, right?
Yeah.
And then we get welcomed back to the game center with the Bop It.
Oh, dude.
What can you say about these things, man?
They fucking suck. I don't know, but just you wait until we get to Rock Bottom.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so. We're gonna spend a good 15 minutes on there. Before he ever started, we do get a segment with The Rock being interviewed by Michael Cole in the luxury box, probably provided by the corporation.
Yeah.
And you see Mick Foley creeping around in the back.
Mick Foley, he's playing like Bugs Bunny. He's playing Bugs Bunny, and he's creeping back like, shh, I'm hunting Rocky Maivia, and he's just like hiding behind the curtain. But yeah, it's great.
And he sneaks up behind The Rock and
Well, The Rock, he's sneaking up behind The Rock, and The Rock is just like, at first, Mankind's like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna leave, and The Rock says like, I'm gonna beat Mankind tonight because he's a loser, and then all of a sudden you hear Mankind just yell something like, "No, I'm not," and it goes after The Rock.
How about this corporate foot? How about this corporate elbow? But
he beats beats the crap out of him.
But you see the part where he goes, "Look at that guy. I know some basketball player.
Yeah.
Look at that white guy over there. He's probably corporate too." Slams him up against the table. Here's a corporate table.
He's great.
And
man.
then he what else did he do? What's that overhead projector?
Yeah. It's like a school, like they would have overhead projectors. I remember writing it down. And he's like, and take this corporate whatever it is, and just kind of and I feel that, like, whatever, they have the money for it, so like, but it's just like they probably went in there and actually like, what happened in here? I need to use that projector for a presentation today.
Yeah. So he beats down The Rock and he sends him into a corner, and then he grabs one of those house plants. So what was it called? A rhododendron?
I don't know, but I believe this is the grandfather of Mitch, the potted plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
So and you hear someone in the background too saying what the plant name is.
Yeah.
It's a rhododendron or whatever it is. Hilarious stuff. And we go to commercial. You can't. How many times have we seen a Mankind spot that wasn't entertaining? You know,
and Mankind's fucking funny as hell too.
Yeah. Back from the break, we get The Rock. He's getting looked at by a couple doctors, and it turns out that he has a couple broken ribs.
He's something in there because the doctor or whoever keeps poking his ribs. He's like, sorry, you can't do it. Can't do it, Rock. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. You can't compete tonight. So
yeah. And meanwhile, in the depths of the arena, we get Mick watching from some weird media room. It's just like a closet with 2 TVs in it.
Yeah.
I found that strange.
Yeah. There's a bunch of strange moments like that throughout both Heat and Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of weird miscues. But yeah.
So it's really, I don't know if they go back to break or what happens.
Well, he comes out to the ring,
but
Mankind.
Yeah, like his music hits, but he's like, while Mick is down there and he's staring at the TV screens, he responds to the screen and goes, "We'll see about that," and starts creeping around the tunnels.
Yeah.
Then he ends up in one room and hides behind like a cabinet.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, and
but then he comes out to the ring like right from that.
His music hits,
and
then he comes out. And I'm like, wait, what? What's going on?
He's probably like, what? Why do you guys keep telling me to go? Just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
This is I'm guessing this is Vince just being, overbearing with the script. Oh, you got to go over here, and you got to be right there, and you're going to hide right there because you're hiding from us. You know, like, whatever. But it was
Yeah.
hilarious, and I loved it. But it was hilarious because I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? It wasn't like some of his other segments. Like the segment before this, when he beat up The Rock, it was actually entertaining, and
Yeah,
I had
100%,
no question. Like, I knew what he was doing. I knew what he was going for. I knew exactly what was going on. Here, I was like, what? Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I think they were trying to be like, make it look like you're making your way to the ring and you probably got lost. And he was like, let me hide behind this cabinet and make it look like I went through a different hallway.
yeah.
And then cut. Come on, you guys just said cut. Well, one person that does decide to hide and run away is one Shane McMahon, who leaves the announce table because he's freaked out that Mick is making his way to the ring. Obviously because of what happened weeks prior and, you know, his transgressions against Mick. Mick gets on the mic, and of course he pulls a little promo on Vinci, baby, where he talks about how you taught me how to read the fine print, Dad. And the fine print says, if The Rock can't compete for the title, then it's all mine.
That's such bullshit.
All mine.
That's such bullshit. That's like the only time that's like the title will be like relinquished. I mean, I guess if there was a scheduled match, it would happen.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be, you know, if it's never in the contract. If somebody gets hurt beforehand,
yeah,
they relinquish the title.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
And then we get the whole, you know, verbiage of what a win is later on during the pay-per-view. But if Vince wants this clause to be removed from the contract, he'll have a small conversation with Mick.
You know what I want, Dad.
It over. Yeah. All they got to do is talk it over, and Mick will make sure he makes things right.
Yeah.
And we get backstage look at Rock, who is still pissed off that his ribs are broken.
Yeah. He's back there arguing with Patterson and Briscoe. And
yeah. Okay, next match, we get a Brian Christopher from Too Much going up against Kevin Quinn. Did I write that down right?
You did.
Kevin Quinn?
Kevin Quinn match got more time than the Matt Hardy match in the opening of the show.
And more offense.
Yeah.
Than the champion, Gilberg.
Yeah.
So Scotty Taylor is joining the announce team with full crutches. He was in full crutches, right?
Yeah, he was. And I was wrong about last week when I said this might be the end of Too Much. No, we're gonna get. But you could see them trying things here and there. Like Brian Christopher bust out in a dance in like one part of the match.
Oh, and they popped.
Yeah, and it's
he was like, "Oops."
Yeah, it's like his exact dance that he does as Brian Christopher. Yeah.
Yeah, the dance is the Roger Rabbit.
Yes, the Roger Rabbit. Yes, it's called.
Yeah, you know what was the douchebag moment of the night though? On Heat anyway.
What?
It's Shane McMahon trying to talk street or hip with Scotty, and he goes, "Hey man, what's the deal, EO?"
Yeah. Yeah, Shane's bad. Shane's
cringe.
Shane was the rich kid trying to act like cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the entire time they're just trying to insinuate like that Scott Taylor and Brian Christopher are just more than friends.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. Like leave it alone. God. Like
like you know, they're trying to make it a heel thing. Like, this is nasty. You guys are nasty.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, you know, 98 sensibilities.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Okay, so the match is pretty nothing. I didn't see much going on here. I did see a nice little botch on that bomb reversal.
That sunset flip power bomb on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And the reversal into the pin. That was another botchy one too.
Yeah, Brian Christopher goes for a power bomb, and then Quinn just like flies backwards and falls on the ground,
falls flat, and
grabs Christopher's legs, and then he rolls him up and wins. So the jobber indie guy, who I guarantee I will not see again on WWE TV, got the win. But decent match, I will say that.
Yeah, he got his offense in.
Yeah.
And you probably did see this guy later on as maybe a security guard or something.
Yeah. But anyways.
Okay, then we get a view of DX. They have arrived in the building, but so has corporate Shawn Michaels. Can you guess what today's rewind is?
I mean, I have it written down right here, but
okay.
It wasn't something from 5 minutes ago, so that was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So Billy Gunn takes a chair to Shamrock. during their
I
interview
do
on Monday night.
I do remember this. So they came down on Monday night and they were dressed in suits, kind of swerving the corporation,
which has been teased for the past couple of weeks.
Exactly. So I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is the match I was talking about. It's Triple H versus Draws, and Trips was accompanied by Sean Waltman, your X-Pac, and that's who I was like, look, flat broke, dead.
He's a writer now, I think, like for a TV show.
Sean
X-Pac, yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, doesn't
not for WWE,
Sean...
but for like some TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, he's like a creative writer now. So good for him.
Nice, good for him.
I think he's turned his life around a little bit, and he has a dog, or he had a dog. Yeah.
Anyways. Named it. No, never mind. So we have Kevin Kelly's trying to explain to the customers and to the viewers out there how to order the pay-per-view, but for some reason the owner's son keeps interrupting him, and we don't ever get a clear idea on how to order the pay-per-view in 1998. Did you notice that?
Because Shane's horrible on commentary. Shane's just like, oh, for sure. How do I call the cable-o?
You say, oh, well, this is what you do. If you don't have a system, you have to call them. Oh, but the cable number has to be complicated, right, Kelly?
Kevin Kelly is like, well, you have to grab your former bill. Like Kevin Kelly was trying to explain, grab your bill. Your number should be on the top of the bill. Now you call that number. You're going to be given a few options when you call. And Shane is just horrible.
Yeah. So this match is pretty back and forth. Draws does start early on Trips, but Triple H quickly changes the momentum with some devastating chops in the corner. Did you see those? Those were nice.
They didn't seem to meld well together. They did not work well together. Draws and Triple H.
That's because they're two big powerhouses. You know what I mean? Two big strong dudes just going at it, and nobody wants to sell.
Yeah.
And it's, I punch you, you punch me, I punch you, you punch me. I whip you in the corner. I give you a big boot. I whip you to the ropes. I give you the boot, the counter, pedigree, 1, 2, 3, game over. Easy win.
Yeah.
Animal, for some reason, is disgusted and mad, and he's walking up the ramp. Draws, chases after him. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? Why are you so mad?
Oh, because Triple H got the victory, right?
Yeah.
With the pedigree.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Then we get a very 2020 move where we get the exchange of wrestlers coming out and then another person coming in, with that weird,
happened all night.
Transition. Yeah. So we get HBK coming in, and he's announcing that DX will be barred from ringside in the tag match against the corporation today. It's the Outlaws, of course, going up against the Big Boss Man and Ken Shamrock. So DX will be barred, and on top of that, the Outlaws would have a warm-up match tonight on Heat.
Well, Triple or HBK is he said, I'm such a nice guy. I'm going to give you the Outlaws something. I'm going to give you a warm-up match. So, I don't know how to feel about HBK in the 90s.
Yeah, it's because
I don't really know how to feel
back and forth.
I don't, I've never been I've never disliked the guy, but I've never been like, oh, HBK, he's so great,
Even as a face, right?
Yeah, even as a face, I never got it.
Yeah, they try to make us care when he pulled out his manager. Remember?
Yeah,
that old guy. But come on, you guys.
Maybe a little bit later, but even when he got older, I was like, I don't care about you, HBK. I think that was a point when I kind of fell out of wrestling for a minute too.
Even the whole "I love you, Rick. I'm sorry." Even that didn't come over as
No. I never really
it's
cared.
What? Maybe because we've always been kind of privy to his backstage antics that we never really.
I always liked Triple H more than I liked HBK. That's just my opinion. I've always preferred, and maybe it's because I'm more of character based. That's why I like one of the main reasons why I like wrestling. I want to know the character behind it, and I want to, but because HBK was just a douchebag the entire time. That was his character.
Yeah, no, I like Triple H a lot up until the WCW burial, especially the Booker T burial.
And maybe because,
that really left a sour taste in my mouth.
And maybe because I witnessed the whole Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels breakup live.
Yeah.
Or not live, but on TV.
You saw him throw him through.
That's a shocking moment. I was like, I think one of my earliest memories.
First Andre, now this.
I know.
So Vince takes questions from his son and Kevin Kelly, and do you know what was said here? All I have is that he said something about Mick being dumb like Canadians, and
He's going to
come to an agreement or something.
I just wrote down he's going to negotiate with Mankind.
Okay.
So I just remember Shane being like, "Hey, Dad, what's going on, Dad?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because we had to raise the buy rate of this pay-per-view, of who are we going to trot out? Well, Jeff Jarrett and Deborah, of course.
They're hyping up the striptease match.
Yes, sir. So we get a recap of the whole Golddust interaction, and they really just, brought us up to date with what was happening there. Yeah. Didn't really do anything.
And Jeff Jarrett, he goes, "Tonight, Golddust is going to get butt-ass naked."
Yeah.
I was like, why are you fighting for this, Jarrett? I would have been like, you know what, Deborah, I like you and all, but I would rather see you naked in front of everybody than Golddust naked. Yeah. Sorry. So.
Boy, well, thank God that we go to break and we come back with a Taker Austin hype. So we get a recap of everything that's gone down between those two and Kane. He's sprinkled into there for some odd reason. But we also get Michael Cole describing the set. We have a tombstone that's 3,000 pounds.
Okay, hold on. No, the tombstone is not 3,000 pounds. Do you want to know some things that weigh 3,000 pounds?
Go for it.
A large vending machine is 600 pounds. Let's just think about that. So 6, 12, 18, 24. That's 5 large vending machines. A large dumpster is 500 pounds. That's 6 of those.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was not 3,000 or 3,000 fucking pounds.
No, but you know what was 2 tons?
What?
The cold and wet dirt.
Yeah, which we'll get there.
Mr. Cole, I would like to add that the dirt is also dirty.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I don't like Michael Cole in the 90s. Michael Cole in the 90s he's the biggest dork ever. Yeah, he's just all night. Well, yeah, but I just want to see some wrestling, King. God.
This has a lot to do with why he was demoted, right?
I don't know.
Because sucks. Remember, at first it was Michael Cole that did maybe. No.
Oh, he's doing the pay-per-view.
Jim Cornette and
Shane, yeah. True. Yeah, he's doing the pay-per-view, so.
Oh yeah, but there's a circumstance why he was doing the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it felt like he got a promotion and he was doing announcing with Jim Cornette for a bit.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Kelly quietly steps in, and all of a sudden, Michael Cole is doing backstage segments again.
Yeah.
All right, and would you consider this our main event?
Main event of Heat before Rock Bottom.
Main event? Yeah, so we get the Outlaws going up against none other than the Acolytes.
They had this really cool horror movie theme song. Mm-hmm. It was like dun, dun, dun. It was basically the Jaws. It was like Michael Myers kind of. Michael Myers.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of ruckus and back and forth, and there's never any real match that begins up until about 3 minutes left on the Rock Bottom timer.
Yeah.
Did you notice that they were flashing the timer every once in a while?
Oh yeah.
So
this match got 2 minutes. So
okay. So I would say it got 2 minutes. No. Oh yeah, that's right, because there's some Taker stuff after this. Well, yeah, when they flashed the timer for 3 minutes, that's when they started to get a little bit of order. They separated people, and maybe we got 30 seconds of one-on-one, and then it was all out.
Yeah, and Boss Man Shamrock come down to beat up the Outlaws, the Acolytes, and then Triple H comes down with X-Pac. Then DX leaves, and then the corporation's battling the Acolytes. Lights go out. Undertaker. He just addresses the crowd.
Well, his music hits, and then we get a lame promo over the mic.
Dude, this was Undertaker. He was
single lightning bolt.
Undertaker was sitting like this. Okay. Austin, tonight you will follow the reckoning of the last night of betrayal. He was reading script for script, word for word on the script.
Yeah. And I've been battling people on Facebook maybe for the last couple weeks. Undertaker is not a prize promo maker. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
No, he's not. He's not at all.
That's why he's always had mouthpieces. Always.
Yeah.
Except for American Badass.
He's better. He's better than a lot. I'll say that. but he's not like
he's better than Jeff Hardy, but he's no,
it's true. He is better than Jeff Hardy.
Even Sting kind of gets him on the microphone, and Sting is not,
because you can tell when no, because Sting just wants to mark out with everybody. Undertaker has these nervous ticks he does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can tell, but when he does this, I think that's when he's nervous. Because he always does that, and especially in like weird moments too. He'll do it a lot, like 3 or 4 times in a segment where he just like grabs his nose. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, and he does this thing where he goes, "Your ministry, I mean my ministry."
I mean my ministry. Shut up! I didn't mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that right now his ministry is consistent of 2 people: Undertaker and
Paul Bear.
Paul Bear.
Hey, you know what? I don't know how many people it takes to make a ministry. I know 4 makes an orgy, but I don't know how many people it takes to make a ministry. So.
Yeah, so we get a single lightning bolt, which reminds me of one of my favorite Simpsons jokes. When Lisa's doing the spelling bee, and Otto goes, "Hey, Lisa, how do you spell AC/DC?" She goes, "Easy, AC/DC." He goes, "Nuh-uh, you forgot the lightning bolt."
Well, his name is Otto, and he loves to blotto. All right. Well, that's
the show, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Sunday Night Heat, and we go into Rock Bottom, as we said, 1998, Vancouver. It was,
and we still don't know how to buy the pay-per-view, by the way.
No, the General Motors place in Vancouver, British Columbia. We kick it off. Let me scroll down to my actual notes of the show. Oh, kicks off with The Rock welcoming Rock Bottom from Planet Hollywood. This is probably recorded like 3 days beforehand. Yeah. Have you ever been to? Did you go to Planet Hollywood ever?
I went to the Planet Hollywood that was here in San Francisco next to Guitar Center. Yes,
I did too. Guitar Center.
Yep.
Where was Guitar Center?
On Van Ness.
Oh, I did not go to that one. I went to the one on Powell Street, like near Powell, next to FAO Schwartz.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was like the place I wanted to go for my birthdays. Mm-hmm. But if you're not familiar with Planet Hollywood, it was a themed restaurant which just had a bunch of crap from movies on the walls. Like, that's it.
Yeah. They were like, it had like Sylvester Stallone's jacket from Over the Top.
Yeah. Wait, mine had Sylvester Stallone's jacket from Over the Top. What the hell?
Are you telling me they've used multiple props for one movie? Well,
you never know. Might be why they went out of business.
So the owners were Sylvester Stallone,
Arnold.
The other 2 were
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
and
I don't know. I feel like it was a female.
The ultimate white blues singer, Mr. Bruce Willis.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Well, you know what? Planet Hollywood, they got The Rock here in Vancouver, British Columbia. He says, being the corporate champ means this will be the one of many pay-per-views featuring the great one. For example, all the In Your Houses will now be entitled In the Rock's House, which I really wish NXT would have done that. Future titles that will come will be Rock Solid, Rock and Roll, which I know Vince came up with that one. Mm-hmm. And one of The Rock's personal favorites, Laying the Smackdown. And he looks at the camera. He goes, you keep your eye out for that one, which I think was their first mention of SmackDown. The show officially kicks off with the Austin Undertaker video package hyping up the Buried Alive match. That's when Michael Cole and the King on commentary hyping up the match, describing the pit 6 feet deep with 300-pound gravestone. Like I said, that's bullshit. And it wasn't even 6 feet deep, because when we got in the match, like Taker and Austin were standing in it, and I'm like, dude, that is like 3.5 at max.
Yeah.
We have Val Venus and The Godfather versus D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, which I've always agreed that Val Venus and The Godfather should be a tag team. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
like they're both
the Godfather and his penis.
Yeah, they're both assholes that exploit women. At least they're characters. I mean, I know Val's kind of a dick outside. Anyways.
Yeah, and you know that one pun that Val Venus did at first? It was really, really lame. Did you get that?
No, I don't think I did. I tend to ignore him sometimes.
I'm the butter in pancakes.
Oh, because he always what do you say? He always like creams in the middle.
No, he's the butter and pancakes. People melt at the hot spots.
Yeah, I always melt in the hot spot. That's what it was. That's disgusting, Val.
People melt at the hot spots.
Godfather, he gives his ladies the night off, but he also instructs them, hey, you have to have sex with my friend Val because I'm giving him to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would love to see if they were just
So
like,
wait, they had the night off, but now they have to work for free. Oh, Godfather, that's cold-blooded.
I know that's messed up. D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry come out with Terry and Jacqueline, which this might
What?
be the second time. I know Monday Night Raw is when they officially they're not called PMS yet, but yeah,
But they're a crew now.
they will. Yeah, Venus and D'Lo Brown start the match. They go back and forth. Cole finally starts questioning D'Lo's chest protector. Henry hits a power slam to Godfather. D'Lo holds Val Venus. It's hard to say Venus because I just want to say penis. D'Lo holds Venus's tights for a splash. Low down to Venus. Godfather breaks up the count. Why did I write so many notes for this match? Outside, Terry and Jacqueline begin arguing with the Godfather's ladies. Jacqueline gets in the ring and hits Val. Low blows him. Henry capitalizes, knocking him down with a huge splash. Gets the pin and the win.
No, Jackie gets a right hand in his face too.
Really? I must have missed that.
She decks him.
This is a decent opener, especially. It was decent.
That was decent.
They had some good back and forth. D'Lo looked better than most times I've seen D'Lo in the ring. So there's that.
He was really playing up the heel part too. When they started really getting in on his case, he tagged out, and that was a classic old school move.
Yeah. Doc Hendricks is backstage with Triple H in China. Triple H, he makes some joke about Ensure, Vince. So that's what he drinks to get his vitamins, right? Duh. But he's confident in the Outlaws tonight. They don't need to be.
But you know why they're there though, to do that interview, right?
Why?
Because they're promoting the Superstar line.
Oh, that's right. Call
1-900.
Oh, dude, how many times on Rock Bottom did you see? Do not call this number. It is no longer inactive.
Every time. Yeah.
It was like 4. Well, of course the numbers aren't active, but it was like 4 or 5 segments that had that up there.
Yeah.
Then we have the Headbangers versus the Oddities. So ICP, they're gone. They're gone from WWE. And you can tell because they were just like, oh, the Headbangers, they kicked the Oddities to the curb. Well, they also kicked ICP to the curb. Let's move on.
Yeah, and it seems like this is the original. This is the source of the music that they had, because they were actually talking over the music. I noticed that the announcers were talking over the music.
I don't know.
Was that placed in there?
I don't know. I know it's their horrible fucking network.
Yeah, because in past weeks, anytime their theme came on, everything went silent.
And you would hear the fake crowd behind it, but
fake crowd, but there was no announcers. Nothing. It was just silence until the actual in-ring time.
Yeah.
This time we had announcers speaking on top of the music. So I don't know. I'm just guessing. It may have been the first time they introduced the shit music for the Oddities.
It could have also just been, maybe they
overdubbed.
Recorded the audio. It's hard because I guess you want to get technical about it. We probably could, but.
Yeah. There might have been something with the mixing of this where they, shut down they owned the original audio and they had the original mix to it, and they just cut out a channel. Done.
So this was originally, I think it was originally supposed to be an 8-person tag match with the Oddities versus the Headbangers and ICP, correct?
I was wondering what happened because Luna was supposed to wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's why they were building her up for the last few weeks against. What was his name? No, not Bobo. Babu, right?
Babu, yeah.
Mosh and Kurgan begin the match. Michael Cole is calling everything. Kurgan does a sidewalk slam. I don't know if you caught that. He hit a side slam. He hit a front falling every time. Sidewalk slam. Golga tags in because, he's a fan of Cartman. Hits a big body splash on both members of the Headbangers. After what it felt like about 10 brain-draining minutes of this match, which probably was only like 10 seconds, Mosh gets the blind tag, jumps in, and Golga just like kind of jumps into him and pins him.
Yeah, that was weird and lame, and
it was a horrible match.
It was a horrible match.
It was bad.
Together at the last minute, yeah.
No, it wasn't even thrown together at the last minute. These guys tried to call in the ring, and it was bad. Like they literally had 1 minute to go out there. It was one of the worst matches I've seen in this run of retro reviews.
Yeah. And we've seen some pretty crappy matches from Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on a pay-per-view.
Kevin Kelly, he's hyping up the hotline with Dr. Tom Pritchard. Then we have a quick segment with Vince and the Stooges. They're just kind of rambling on about Vince, what are you going to do? Mr. McMahon, all that good stuff.
You want me to go get your hot dog?
No, don't. You don't need to do it, Mr. McMahon. We'll go and talk to Mankind for you. Owen Hart versus Steve Blackman, though, is next. And Owen is the most over person this entire night.
Yeah, 100%.
The two begin to brawl as soon as they get into the ring with one another. Owen stomping away on Blackman. Owen tries to leave the ring, but is stopped by Blackman when he pulls him into the ring. King can't get over the crowd cheering for Owen the entire match. We have a stretch.
They don't understand for some reason.
Yeah, like, what's going on?
You guys know what's going on.
A stretch muffler to Owen Hart. Blackman begins to take over, with so much energy because Blackman just has so much personality and energy.
Well, of course. What can you get from a guy with black sweats?
The King makes some dumb joke. He goes, yeah, this is actually pretty funny. It did make me laugh. He goes, you know what they say about a day without sunshine, right? It's night. Get it? You see? But it made me laugh. I was like, that is the cleanest. Like, I feel like that's the one the King uses for like his grandkids,
Totally, yeah.
Massive baseball slide to Owen Hart. Owen begins to take over with an atomic drop. Snap suplex to an elbow drop to Blackman, followed by a kick out. Owen rips off the pad from the turnbuckle, and only gets thrown into it himself. Black applies a sleeper on Owen, but reverses into a dragon sleeper because that's the move the Blue Blazer does.
Mm-hmm.
Owen then goes for a missile dropkick, but Blackman evades, locks in the sharpshooter to be the most hated man in all of Canada for about 5 minutes. Like, when Blackman applied that sharpshooter to Owen Hart, I'm sure everybody in Canada was just like, that fucking Steve Blackman. What's he think he's all about?
Yeah, hand people on their screens at home.
Yeah.
Boo, eh?
Yeah.
Boo.
That's when Owen Hart just said, fuck this, and he just walks away.
Yeah.
And,
to be continued.
And
but you
Blackman,
know
what? What's up?
This match is a perfect example of why the audience is the fourth member in the ring. It's the face, the heel, the ref, and the audience.
They definitely added a lot to it. I didn't hate this match at all. But Owen doesn't have the most personality. I'll say that. He has personality. Yeah. And then he was with Steve Blackman, who has zero personality.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And, you can tell Owen's heart hasn't been into it. I mean, ever since these Heat retro reviews, I've been saying it. It looks like he's homesick, or he misses Brett not being around.
Yeah.
Or he's like, why can't I get one of those big fat checks, Uncle Eric?
Well, I think he was locked down to the contract. He chose to stay in WWE, remember? Because I think that was the thing about his Dark Side of the Ring episode was he chose to stay in WWE because it was guaranteed and he wanted to support his kids. It was never about like, oh, I want to be the best wrestler. I want to do. No, he just wanted to make enough money to support his family and
to take care of them and have them live the life he didn't have. Yeah.
So these
Royal Rumble commercial.
Oh. Finally, I can't wait to call 1999's Royal Rumble match. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. January 24th. Mark it on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. January 24th.
But no, like I said, Blackman and Owen wrestling a match like it was 1960s. You have first off we have Mr. McMahon walking through the bowels of the arena looking for Mankind. And he's just like, Mick, Mick, where are you? And that's when he finds a little door. It says Mankind's office, and it's like under it's like under some stairs or something, and it's like a crawl space, where they keep her storage. And Mankind's just like sitting in there. She's like, "Come on in, Dad. We got some talking to do." So he goes in there.
Who is it?
He's like, "What do you mean? Who is it? It's Vince." Oh, come in, Dad.
I just want to talk.
We get a 6-man tag, the Jab Squad, or as the King calls them, I Need a Job Squad, which clever.
Bro, they're on TV. They have a job.
Versus the Brood. Bob Holly cut his hair fucking finely to the traditional short hair that we know today. Holly and Edge start this match. Falcon Arrow.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
We actually find out why JR is not around tonight.
Oh, he was dealing with the loss of his
The
mother.
loss of his mom, and he's also feeling under weather and not feeling very well. You know, stress can bring on sickness, so he was probably stressed with all the arrangements and all the sadness of the news, and he probably caught a flu.
Or whatever, at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, he does suffer from Bell's palsy, so
Yeah,
this could
exactly.
have been
That
one of the
could.
triggers.
Yeah. So this is one of those matches. It's a traditional 1990s six-man tag match in WWE where you have the team of 1, 3, and 5 versus the team of 2, 4, and 6. One faces two tags out to 4, one face. You know what I mean? Everyone gets their spots in. Everyone gets their tag in. I don't know what the fuck is the story in this match. Snow barely hits Christian with head at one point. Christian goes down because he barely makes contact with him at all. We get the unprettier to Scorpio. The pin in the win. Christian gets the pin in this match. I can't knock on the athleticism, but I just don't understand why this match was so long, and I don't understand why it was there.
I have an answer for you
What's
as to why this match sucked. We have the faces, the heels, the refs, and the audience. The audience was dead.
Yeah.
When Head did his usual spots, the audience went crickets.
Yeah. This match got 9 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yikes. Oh my God, that's an eternity.
That's an eternity in 1998.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with especially on Sunday nights where half of these matches were under 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Like I said, Christian gets pinned the win, and the match was too long. Then we have Mankind and Vince with their power meeting, and they were just talking backstage. And you go, "All right, Vince, I'll talk to you later." And yeah, I didn't write much down for it. They were doing their meeting. Yeah. Finally, the striptease match. I will say this. I watched the show in 2 sittings. The first sitting, I watched up to this point, and I was very drained, and I was very tired.
I know why. I can see why.
I came back into it. I started to finish it today. I was very energized, and I was actually way more into the second half of the show.
Yeah.
So we have Jeff Jarrett versus Golddust, the striptease match. And if you want to make Golddust over, the person in the 90s who they buried for, being over-sexualized, the freaky one, even the gay one at times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make a stipulation where when he wins, a woman has to get naked. Everybody in the crowd will be behind Golddust. And that's exactly what happened here.
Oh, we got take it off chance when Deborah stepped into the ring.
Dude, okay. At one point, Jeff Jarrett is grounded, sitting up. Golddust just kind of like rams into his face with his dick too, which was really weird. But that's not the point I wanted to mention. So Jeff Jarrett hits a crossbody cover, goes for a cover, but Golddust reverses into a 2 count, and the entire crowd goes, "Aww." Like at the exact same time. It wasn't like, "What? They kicked out." No, it was like,
or 1, 2, oh.
Yeah.
It was, oh,
we want to see Deborah naked. We don't want to see Golddust naked.
Yeah.
We have a long...
King's homophobia stands out here.
Yeah.
When he keeps asking Cole who he's rooting for. What the hell are you rooting for? What are you rooting for?
Well, he goes, "Well, I'm obviously rooting for Golddust. I want to see Deborah naked, of course." God, King. But I have a match to... Like the entire time, King is just... Like, he's supposedly Michael Cole's calling him out for having a camera and, like, reels of film. And, like...
he might as well have told him, "Come on, aren't you a man?"
You know what I hate?
What?
This shit reminds me of my dad so much. My dad, after he divorced my mom, was, like, the biggest... Like, he tried to be like, like, "I'm bringing the camera to the nudie show." I'm like... And even like, he would tell me things like this as, like, I'm, like, 8. I'm like... Yeah. You probably shouldn't do that. Like, just enjoy the moment. Like, I'm 10 years old giving my dad advice at like for strip clubs. You know what I mean? Like, just enjoy the time, Dad.
Keep your hands to your side, Dad.
Yeah. You take them to the back room, whatever. There's got to pay extra for that. But
oh my God.
Yeah. So where was I? Okay. So long sleeper to Golddust. Jeff Jarrett's arm is just fucking covered in paint at this point.
Yeah.
Deborah gets in the ring, gets the guitar, prepares to smack Golddust with it, but is caught by the ref. Golddust goes for a reverse DDT to Jeff Jarrett, knocking him down for a 3 count, but the ref is distracted by Deborah. Goldust sets up Jeff Jarrett for the Shattered Dreams, but Deborah gets in the ring, distracting the ref for a second time. This time, however, Goldust hits the Shattered Dream behind the ref's back.
Don't you think that the ref would just be like, no, I'm just going to count 3 over here, and then I'll get to see you naked instead of you teasing me for a private.
Well, yeah, but this is the world of wrestling.
Yeah,
where the refs are like, in a sense, like actual dogs, where they only pay attention to what's in front of them, and their memory only goes back 7 seconds.
Squirrel.
Exactly. He's like, Deborah, you better go. You better put that guitar down. I'm warning you. And Deborah's just sitting there, and she's like, whatever. I don't care.
Literally.
Which I think this should have been the end of the match. With the Skull Crush, well, not the Skull Crush, but the Shattered Dreams to behind the ref's back. It would have been great because like Goldust cheated to win, but like, you know what I mean? Like he was a face, so whatever. But no, Jeff Jarrett just falls outside after he gets the Shattered Dreams, and the ref is distracted again, and Deborah smacks Goldust in the head with the guitar. We get the skull crushing finale to Goldust by Jeff Jarrett. I really like this match. I'll be honest.
Slapnuts for the win, because you know what? Jeff Jarrett doesn't lose any face in this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Although I think, like I said, I think the match should have ended after the Shattered Dreams.
Yeah, even then he wouldn't have lost any
because he cheated. Yeah. It wasn't a very technical match, but I had so much fun in it. Jeff Jarrett got the pin in the win, so technically Goldust does have to strip, and this is the part I don't get. The heel commissioner comes out, who, like I said, his character is just being a douchebag. Mr. Heartbreak Kid himself, HBK, Shawn Michaels. He comes out and he says, technically, in the rule book, it says if you use a foreign object, it results in a DQ. So, Goldust, hey, you're the winner. And Deborah, get naked. And Deborah...
Well, you know, he is the villain, you know, so the villain would do
force a woman to get naked. Yeah. That makes complete sense, actually, once you put it like that. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, he's there for, like, he literally like just changed.
He wasn't punishing the heel.
He changed, yeah.
Punishing a woman.
He changed everything up just so the woman had to strip.
Yeah.
Which is total heel heat. Yeah. But he got face heat with the crowd. It's so confusing. I feel so confused here. Let's see. Like I said, HBK reversed the decision. Deborah strips down to her ling.
Oh, wait. At first, she was like, no, I don't want to get naked.
But I have to? Okay.
Second thought.
Yeah, she begins to like, enjoy it because, Stockholm Syndrome. And that's when the blue blazer runs down and covers her up. This begins the team of Jeff Jarrett and the blue blazer because things are just too damn nasty on WWF.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh boy.
And what you went through with this match, I went through with this next match. I stopped here. I was dreading coming back.
You're skipping you're skipping a segment, dude.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We get a commercial for the WWF Attitude Cologne. And this is by the same nerds who are in the Bop It ads, who are portrayed like big children. You know what I mean? Yeah. These guys must be hired. Like, they must work for WWE. What was the name? Like Robbie and something else?
Yeah, Robbie E. Lee and Patrick Stewart.
There was 2 Robbies because there was like a Grandmaster Robbie too. And he was the guy. Dude, he was the one who had granola bars.
Yeah, okay. and they had like teenager names. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So these guys are like supposedly, because they're marketing their fucking, who's going to buy WWF Cologne? Like, I know somebody probably did, but I'll be honest. I had Michael Jordan Cologne. I did get the Michael Jordan Cologne. And then I poured the whole bottle on my body, and that's when I learned never to do that. Not the actual whole bottle, but I was there like, tss, 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 tss.
Yeah.
I smell like Michael Jordan.
That's the smell I used to run into when I came into the Diamond.
Yeah, exactly. Studios. I saved it for 20 years. But yeah, so this commercial is all like them playing jazz because and they're just making
douchier than Axe body spray.
Oh my god! Like I would want to buy Axe body spray at that point. I'm like, no, let me just.
Yeah. It probably smelled cleaner too.
All right. So
Yeah, so
New Age Outlaws
the frustrations I had with this match is just beyond ridiculous. I
versus
just couldn't. I tried 2 times to watch, and it was during this match, and I was like, no, I just can't do it right now.
No,
I just can't.
it requires at 2 times speed, like I said.
Yeah.
So this
Even then, it was too slow.
it takes a minute to get started because they don't know which corners to go to. They try to chase, like the Boss Man and Shamrock try to chase Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, but Road Dogg gets stuck in the ring, but they're not supposed to hit Road Dogg yet, so he's just like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay. Boss Man tries to crotch Gunn in the corner post, but the power of Billy Gunn's legs pulls Big Boss Man into the corner. The heels are building the heat on Road Dogg for what feels like 5 minutes. And everyone is just watching HBK on the outside. That's the thing, is a lot of these things happening. Everyone's just paying attention to the people on the outside. And
What's on the inside sucks.
But that's the thing, is that they shouldn't have HBK interacting with fans.
Distracting from the
He's not just like paying attention to the match. He's trying to be the fucking star of this match. And he's just on the outside. He's arguing with fans. He's like, he gave like a Road Dogg or Billy Gunn like a kiss on the head, it was just weird. You know what I mean? Like, dude, HBK, get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't care. I don't want to see you being the fucking star of this tag team match, which you have no part of.
Yeah. No, some would say that he was such a great performer, and the reason why he was so great is because he starves for attention. So he knows that, being one of the best performers just brings you more eyes. And at this point, he doesn't have, the physicality to get in the ring. So he has to draw attention other ways. And to give it to Vince, he was more than willing to give him all the attention he wanted.
Road Dogg gets the hot tag, but the ref doesn't see it, so he doesn't allow Billy Gunn to get in the ring. That's when Road Dogg tosses Boss Man to the outside. But instead of going for the tag, he just goes and starts battling Boss Man in the heels corner on the outside. He knocked Boss Man on the outside. You tried to make a tag a second ago. Just go back and tag your partner, dude. I don't know. It was dumb. Road Dogg finally gets a hot tag. Ref is pulled out of the ring by the commissioner, Shawn Michaels. That's when Boss Man strikes both members of the Outlaws with the nightstick. Shamrock goes for a pin, but Gunn kicks out at 2. HBK trips Gunn when he's going for a suplex, but on Shamrock. But then Shamrock falls on him, but then
and that trip causes
Gunn to reverse
Shawn Michaels
into a pin for Shamrock.
Yeah, and he kicks Shawn Michaels in the process,
and he gets the pin in the win.
What?
So it was way too long, and there was way too much fuckery, and HBK had no reason being there. You know what I mean? Like, build heat with Shamrock. I know Boss Man, you're not going to do much with him because, I mean, rest his soul, but like, God, he does not have charisma at all. Yeah.
And you know what? On top of all this, let's discuss.
Okay, he does not have charisma until he's driving away a hearse tied to with Big Show's dead dad tied to the back.
Oh my god!
Which we might, if that's on that's on SmackDown. We might have to start reviewing SmackDown.
Oh my god! Yeah. Anyways. We'll start with episode 1. But way to discredit your champions at that. You know what I mean? It makes them look like just happenstance.
Yeah,
and that's not good.
It was dumb. I did not like it. We move on.
I didn't like reviewing it. To tell you the truth.
We move on to Mr. McMahon explaining what's happening to The Rock, and nobody knows still what's happening. I don't know. You don't know. Michael Cole doesn't even know, and he tells us that.
Yeah. What's in the paper, Mick? What's in the paper?
What's in the box? I've already used that clip. I'm not going to use it again. Mankind. He comes out to the ring, and I believe he has a new remix to his theme song because he has kind of a beat to it this time. Mm-hmm. Before it was just kind of like ominous music playing in the background. Now there's a beat to it.
Yeah, violin.
Mr. McMahon grabs the mic. Goes, Mick. He goes, I know we have some business to take care of, but the first thing I'd like to take care of is to tell you that you have a hole in your tights right there on your little knee. Sorry about that. He is just playing power play, like making Mick feel like a smaller person. And I wonder, like, what this was. Like, why did he point out
Mick is infamous to be cheap.
Okay.
He cuts corners. It's all in his books. He owns it.
Do you think Mr. McMahon just was like, fuck it, I'm just
teasing him about that? Come on, Mick, I told you to get some new tights. You bring these things? Come on, Vince, they work perfectly well. It's just a tiny rip.
Mankind is ready to let go of the claws. He says, if The Rock can't compete, then he'll have to relinquish the title because there's nothing more than I'd like to do than whoop the Rock's ass all over here in the arena. He goes, well, there's one other thing. Redemption. You see, Vince, let's take a trip back to the Survivor Series where the Rock put me in a sharpshooter, and lo and behold, I was robbed. He goes, to lose the match, I would either had to have been pinned or say I quit.
This is more of that logic that HBK uses earlier.
He goes, but you know damn well that I wasn't pinned, and you know Mankind would never say I quit, which I fucking loved when he said that because he doesn't. He goes, what I want for you is to admit to me and to Vancouver that I never said the words I quit from, that you never heard the words I quit from my mouth.
Well, I never said that I didn't hear you quit.
Well, he goes, he says, well, I heard someone say I quit, and I heard it from your general direction, and the Rock heard you say I quit. So
and then Mick interrupts him and goes, no, I want you to say it from your knees.
Yeah, he got really weird about it. You know what I mean? He was like, I want you to get on your knees and say it. Ah! And he goes, why? Vince says, I heard the Rock say it, and that's good enough for me. And that's when the Rock attacks Mankind from the behind. The match finally begins. They battle all around the ring. Mankind gets, McMahon gets the mic again. He goes, Mankind, you stop it. Next time you do something like that, you'll be disqualified. That's right, no matter what. I was like, fucking finally. Like someone's just using their power, because he looks at the ref, he goes, ref, DQ him. DQ him for any reason. And
all down the middle.
And the ref's just like, well, I can't DQ him. Like, honestly, Vince could have been like, now this is a Mankind loses match. Mankind, you automatically lose. Bye. We're done. Which I thought for a second that's what they were going.
And he already did that with the screw job.
Yeah. So he tries to get, but that never comes out of, and like nothing ever happens with it. Like no one gets DQ'd. You know what I mean? He got on the mic and said that, and it was really weird. They go back to the outside. King keeps asking, and he goes, oh, is Mankind, is that illegal? He used an open foot. Is that illegal?
Mm-hmm.
So Mankind hits a baseball slide to the Rock, knocking him to the outside onto the commentator's table. Mankind gets to the top. Oh. He gets on the top of the turnbuckle. That's when Shane holds Mankind's legs, allowing Rock to knock him off the turnbuckle. And I do love Rock getting on commentary while he's slamming on Mankind's head into the table. He puts on the headset, he goes, the Rock's here. And he's, oh, Mankind, sorry, it's going to smell so bad, guys. And slams his head into the table. And the King goes, hey, let me get a high five. He goes, you're down. No, you can't get a high five. You might get the people's backhand. I thought it was great. Yeah. Mankind tries to use a chair, but is stopped by the Rock. DT to Mankind onto the chair. People's elbow, followed by a kick out. Mankind fights back and gives the Rock a leg drop to the groin area. Vince demands the ref to call for the bell. Mankind beats up the ref, gives him a pile driver. Vince tells the timekeeper to ring the bell. Mankind,
no, you don't.
Mankind takes them out. Mankind then focuses on Vince. Chair shot to the Mankind by the Rock. Rock Bottom and Mankind. There's no ref to count. That's when Shane gets in the ring, and he tries to strike Mankind with the title.
Oops.
But Mankind ducks, evades, and he strikes the Rock with the title. The Mankind covers the Rock, and I'm just like, you're supposed to be I thought Shane was a ref. Like couldn't he just like be like, I'm a ref now? You know what I mean?
Remember they talked about a couple weeks ago that he got a promotion.
That's true.
Remember he was demoted to referee.
Yeah, he's back to family member.
Yeah.
That's when referee Tim White runs down to the ring. He gets the 2 count, DDT to Mankind, double arm DDT to the Rock. Mankind pulls Socko out and applies the mandible claw. All of a sudden, the ref, Tim White, calls for the bell and declares Mankind the winner. Like there was he didn't check on the Rock. He just had the mandible claw in there for a second, and
it was one of those he didn't respond. Old school, lift the arm 3 times. One,
but he didn't even do that.
I think he did it once. Like
I fucking hate the once thing. It needs to be 3 times because I like the 1, 2, and then and even when 3 falls, like it never does, and when the hand falls the 3rd time, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But Mankind technically wins the match.
But you could only win the title on pin or submission.
This is such bull. This is a bullshit
The
rule.
Rock never submitted.
This is such bullshit. So McMahon gets on the mic. He goes, okay, Mankind, you won the match, but the only way to be the WWF champion is to win by pinfall or submission. And The Rock wasn't pinned, nor did he submit. So still, you're WWF champion, The Rock. And it's such bullshit. Like, I know they're building a story.
Yeah, because the title has exchanged before on a no answer to the ref.
Yeah. Which,
yeah.
TKO. It's a TKO. You win.
Mm-hmm.
You win title. Many people have won titles that way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're trying to play this corporate screw job.
Yeah.
And, I will say this. We are about a month away, or less than a month away, from when Mankind wins the title on Raw.
The infamous Tony Schiavone call.
Yeah, exactly. When he tells everyone to switch over. Or he doesn't tell them to switch over, but...
No, he was, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe Cactus Jack, out of all people, won the title?
Yeah,
what does the title mean to you when Cactus Jack wins it?
And everybody...
Ouch, dog.
Yeah, I know.
Mankind was dope. What are you talking about?
Well, Schiavone, come on. I'm sure he feels sorry for it now. That's when Mankind applies the mandible claw to Mr. McMahon. Shane tries to attack Mankind multiple times with a chair, but receives a mandible claw. The Stooges come out. Mankind just kicks everyone's ass, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mankind...
Until the real wrestlers come in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Boss Man and Shamrock come down.
Yeah.
That's when we get the Buried Alive match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. And I fucking love this match. I will say that. I loved it. I thought it was great. Until like the last 5 minutes of not everything going wrong, and they're just like, okay, we got to go home. Bye.
Yeah. No, I'm in the camp where I hate these gimmicky matches where they all false count anywhere.
Well, there's no, you have to be buried alive, but
like hardcore matches.
Yeah.
Buried alive matches.
Yeah.
Casket matches. These super weird. We're gonna fight outside all the time. I hate those matches.
Well, it doesn't make sense how they go to the mound of dirt and then they come back to the ring and then they go back to the mound of dirt. Then they go back to the ring. I'm like,
yeah, and they only go back to the ring for 2 moves
to do some couple spots.
Yeah, and then they go back to the dirt. It's I don't know. That's what I hated. But then the minute that the stunner was hit to the end of the show, I was in love with that. So the opposite effect that I had with you.
So it begins with them battling on the entranceway with a fierce exchange of strikes. Austin choking Undertaker with the TV wires. They battle around the dirt. They go down to the ring. Thesz press to the Undertaker. They battle on the mound of dirt again. Austin uses the guardrail as a weapon, which I really love because he tried to use it earlier and it didn't work for him. They both fall into the 6-foot grave, and and literally Austin is only halfway, and Austin's 6 foot, I think, right? There is a really, really cool shot though, where Undertaker's trying to get out of the grave, and Austin pulls him back down, and Undertaker's just clawing his way, trying to get back. The fight goes back to the ringside. Chair shot to Austin. Choke slam to Austin in the ring. Undertaker.
Well, might I say that Undertaker took care of his boy Steve Austin on that choke slam.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice.
He took great care of him, dude. It looked good, and it looked really safe.
Yeah,
he brought him down slow. He didn't slam him down.
Yeah,
good job, Mark. Good job.
Undertaker drags Austin to the mound of dirt. They battle for a second. That's when he's trying to get Austin in he falls into the dirt pit, and somebody just fucking pelts, or at least almost pelts Undertaker with a full soda.
And it was a Sprite.
And Undertaker looks up. He's like, "You motherfucker! This is how it's gonna be." Yeah. I think he said something like, "This is how it's gonna be."
Yeah, and it looked like he pointed to
he was probably like, that's the person you have to get out of here. I mean,
security,
if you're gonna do it, I don't know. I never ever threw anything. Did you ever throw anything?
I caught Scott Hall with some ice once.
I mean,
sorry, Scott. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey,
I was a kid.
WCW, man, they fucking people got pelted. Yeah. So as Taker is piling the dirt onto Austin in the grave, Austin sneaks out. Austin strikes Taker with gas cans because apparently those need to be around for a grave match. I don't know. We have a stunner to Taker. Taker falls into the grave. Austin piles some dirt on him. Austin then goes to the back and signals to raise the set. And that's when Undertaker gets out of the grave. And we have an explosion from inside the mound of dirt. And Kane, it's gotta be Kane, rises from the grave. Which I was trying to figure out where the fuck he was. Like, was there like a secret compartment underneath?
The 2 tons, the 2 tons of dirt.
There was a 3,000-pound gravestone there.
Yeah, no, there was probably like a case, a big wooden box, complete with snacks and a monitor so Kane can watch the show.
Oh God,
and,
he was there for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, probably.
Because
or when would he get a good chance? Maybe during one of those breaks. No, but then you would break kayfabe and the people would see.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's close enough to the entranceway where he could have gone in from the ramp, and it could have been like a little tunnel.
Yeah, could have been
dug in.
Could have been. I did notice though, like when they would like go not to break, but they'd have their time away. Like they would just go to a video segment. They wouldn't be like, I've been to WWE, plenty of WWE shows where like during those like backstage segments or during some random segment, they just play some random video and you see lights everywhere. But sometimes they turn the lights completely down, and when those lights are down, you're focused on that screen, or whatever. And
that totally could have been it.
And people have hit, one time I think I saw, was it Bray Wyatt get under the ring? So Kane, he comes back. He's exchanging strikes with Taker. Taker goes for a tombstone to Kane, but he's distracted by Austin driving. What is that? It's not a forklift, a tractor.
It's a tractor crane thing.
Yeah, crane. I don't know.
With the claw.
I'm not an actual man, I guess. But the claw. He comes out with the tractor full of dirt, and Kane hits the tombstone to Taker, getting him into the grave. That's when Austin leaves the tractor for an experienced operator to take over. And the idea of this is for the tractor to dump all the dirt on top of Undertaker, which, if there was a secret compartment, that's how Taker probably got out of there. Makes total sense now, or a tunnel or something. And then like they're just standing there, and the tractor doesn't, like, they can't get it to reach. You know what I mean? Like they're about like 5 to 10 feet off from where Taker is in the grave, and like the hand is here, but Taker's buried over here. Eventually, finally,
and the dirt's on the opposite side of that.
Yeah, and so they're sitting there, and like you could tell Austin's just like, "Come on, do it.
2 more feet, back it up."
So then,
see, I told you, this is why we should have practiced it. We should have had this at rehearsal.
Yeah, and so then they start dumping all the dirt on the Undertaker. Undertaker's not completely buried, but then Austin just goes and gets a couple beers, gives Hebner a beer, and Hebner's like, fuck it, he wins.
Yeah. He said, okay, cool, let's call it.
That was my favorite moment. Hebner's just like, all right, he wins after giving him a beer. Whatever. I think that should have been the match. I think it should have been whoever has a beer with Hebner first wins the match.
Whoever gets Hebner to crack it first.
Yeah.
Because that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
What are we doing? He did it.
Oh my God. It was weird, and it was all, the ending was all messed up because of the tractor mess ups.
I like that. I like
but it was funny.
Surprise. You guys should have practiced.
Absolutely. That was Rock Bottom.
It was
a decent show.
Way to end the year. This is a good way to bridge Thanksgiving and Royal Rumble, your Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. I like this. Yeah, it's better than other years, but the beginning was really, really slow. New Age Outlaws, never really been a favorite of mine, so that really bogged down the show.
I liked them when I was a kid. I hate them now. I don't hate them, but I don't like them now.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of like the appropriation shit. They just don't rub me well anymore.
Billy Gunn I can take. I think it's just the Road Dog.
Yeah, that's probably
it's like 90% of the Road Dog. Like
the fake braids, the sweatpants.
Yeah.
Here's to you aspiring wrestlers: stay away from the sweatpants. Wear tights.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're long tights, short tights,
unless
tights.
you're really fat. Like if you're like Abdullah the Butcher fat or like Haystacks Calhoun fat.
King Kong Bundy, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
John Tenta, he was. It was better.
Golga looks okay.
He looks okay, but Earthquake looked more devastating.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Man, I don't know. Like, there's a reason for all this too. There's a reason why the second half of the show was better than the first half, is because at this time you had Vince focusing on two storylines, 1 or 2.5 storylines. Now Vince is trying to, oh, I was so good at that. Now I gotta do everything, and he tries to make every storyline like an Austin storyline. Carmella and fucking Sasha Banks. They're trying to get them, to be like at the same level. Like, you don't really need to put that much into it. Focus on 2 or 3 storylines. Let somebody else take care of that shit, and you're fine.
So. I don't understand half of New Japan storylines, and I'm very entertained by their shit.
Because the storylines are in the matches most of the time. Given... look at the Oddities. They don't really even have a storyline really going for them, other than the fact like they got turned on by the people that aren't there anymore. So now they're wrestling some random tag team. You know what I mean? So, like, and they were over. People loved them, and I don't know how much longer will they love them without.
Holy crap! There are only 2 title matches on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, the Intercontinental title and the Hardcore title were held up in a tag match. There was no Sable here tonight, so no women's title.
Yep.
How do you feel about the? I mean, I guess Austin winning at the end is the main event. I just always feel like the world title should be the main event.
It always should, but right now your bread is buttered by one Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is the top babyface in the company.
Yeah.
Your top heel would be Vince McMahon.
The Rock.
Well,
Vince McMahon. You're right. You're out.
Yeah. And
Taker.
Undertaker still has some. Yeah, he's not your number one.
No.
But he will soon join the crew of number one.
People hold too much nostalgia in the Undertaker, man.
Yeah.
I was talking. Was I talking to you about this? Maybe I was talking to Michael about this, about Taker and Sting. I was always a Sting fan. I never liked Undertaker to the same level where I like Sting. Sting was badass.
Yeah, well, here's why. Sting would wrestle unforgettable 1-hour matches with Ric Flair. He would get into Beast with the Great Muta and the Scorpion, which was Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And started the whole. You remember the multiple Stings in the arena? He got that idea from Ric Flair. Ric Flair did the
Scorpions. Yeah.
From everywhere in the arena. So he was involved in better matches and better storylines programs, whereas Undertaker faced, the Giant. It was always the gimmick match of the year
and
for Survivor Series or Mania.
Undertaker always came from like that cheesy, the golden era, the
Doink the Clown era,
early 90s Occupation era. Remember,
Tugboat and Earthquake.
One thing I totally remember about, one thing I remember about the Undertaker is, remember when he like disappeared for a minute and everyone was like, "Where is the Undertaker?" And they would have these vignettes. They'd be like a little kid, like, "I saw the Undertaker," and you would see like footage of the Undertaker like swinging or like riding down a slide, like, "Yay!" And you didn't see this. You didn't see like black and white Sting do that. Like, I know Sting tagged with RoboCop, and it was fucking weird.
Yeah,
but like. The black and white era of Sting, to what he is, that character, he never did anything like that. He just came out, he had a bat, he was badass. Then he hung out with some like NWO gangsters for a while. You know what I mean? Yeah, he joined a gang. He was cool. Yeah. Taker was just like, I'm a character.
Even before all that, the what ifs. Is he? Ain't he? He's wearing black and white. He might be NWO. Who knows?
Yeah.
And the Undertaker, he's fighting. Oddities, for lack of a better word, the Giant Gonzalez with that weird tan suit that had abs painted on them with hair.
Kamala, remember the casket, the first casket match, right?
You got it, Headhunter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yokozuna.
Yeah.
It's always the big man trying to topple down the big man. Who's going to be the next big man with no skill to fight him? I'm surprised, God rest his soul, Zeus didn't come in and fight Undertaker at one point.
Dude, did we just name like 4 people who are died?
Probably.
Is Giant Gonzalez alive?
I don't know.
Giant Gonzalez. Well, I don't know. No, we did name four dead people. That sucks.
Wow. Okay, well,
that's just sad. I nothing about it. I'm just saying it's just
but it's the oddity, and he was the ultimate. He was the ultimate gimmick.
Yeah, because he was such a gimmick. So
yeah.
Well, I think that about does it here for us today, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Tiny Liston.
Zeus, aka Debo. My mama gave me that chain, Debo. Give it back.
The president in
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, yeah.
And I'm sure he played a cop in a different movie.
I think his name was like Linderman, President Linderman.
I think that sounds like what you posted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, next week we will have Sunday Night Heat from December 20th, 1998. So be sure to watch that episode before we review it, so you can talk about it with us.
Only 2 more two more heats to the end of the year, right?
Yep, 2 more heats after this week. We have the 20th and 27th. This is the last pay-per-view of the year. Mm-hmm. So this is how we close the year with pay-per-views.
Yeah. How do you think Starrcade's doing? I bet it was pretty shitty, huh?
Oh, God. I have no idea, dude.
Yeah, no, I bet Ultimate Warrior was probably involved in some way.
No, was he? I thought he was gone by this point.
Maybe. I don't know. Starrcade's their big one.
Well, now I'm going to look it up. Starrcade.
98.
1998. Not 10. Okay. No, not 1098. God, I don't need a tax form. Okay. Starrcade 98. Who's next? The picture is Goldberg. Let's see the results of the match. Well, let's just go to the Kevin Nash defeated Goldberg in a no DQ. Oh, this was the stun gun.
The cattle prod.
The cattle prod, yeah. The cattle prod.
End of the streak. The first streak that ended. That was lame.
Eric Bischoff defeated Ric Flair in a match.
Oh my God.
Conan defeated Jericho with Ralphus.
Wow.
Brian Adams and Scott Norton defeated Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn.
What?
Yeah. Perry Saturn defeated Ernest Miller.
Okay, cool.
Norman Smiley defeated Prince Iaukea.
What? Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Billy Gunn defeated Billy Gunn defeated Eddie Guerrero, which is probably a good match.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Gunn defended the title twice. Okay, so it says Billy Gunn defeated in a triple threat match against Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrero. Then he defended against Eddie Guerrero right afterwards.
You mean Billy Kidman?
Did I say Billy Gunn? Yeah, Billy Kidman.
Yeah.
No, Billy Kidman. He just went over, or Billy Gunn went over and won the cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds live.
All right.
Well, except for the main event. Damn. Yeah, Kevin Nash was not a very good booker.
Well, he booked himself into a nice fucking paycheck.
Oh yeah.
That deal where he has to get paid like 10% more than the highest paid person. Whew. Mm-hmm. Whew. And then every time they brought in somebody, his pay would go. Man, that guy was smart for himself. I hope he saved.
Then he was like, Scott, go deal with your own demons, big man. I'm gonna go out here and have me a vodka tonic.
Yeah.
Myself to beat Goldberg.
Yeah. Well, I think that about does it here for us today. We're going to get out of here. Hopefully, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at City Wrestling Radio on Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow us, and at CWR415 on Twitter. We'll see you later. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Bye-bye.